Greetings and welcome to the Jacksonville Buzz. We've got a great show coming up for you. Watch this space for On a Mission and some fabulous segments.
Born out of the bold city of the South, Southern Grill has been a mainstay on Jacksonville's South Bank for 24 years. From sun up to sundown, Southern Grill serves up home-cooked meals daily. From breakfast to Southern cooked barbecue, sandwiches, wraps, platters, and vegetarian options, the Southern Grill has you covered. At night, enjoy some live music at our full bar or catch this week's best college or NFL game with our NFL Sunday ticket. Dine in, to go, delivery, or catering. Enjoy a taste of the South at the Southern Grill.
Welcome back to the Jacksonville Buzz. I'm Steve Strum. This morning we have Marlon Jones from Career Skills Architect. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. So we were talking a lot about you before we had you on the show. But tell our audience a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, Steve, what I do is I help professionals in sports administration learn human resources skills that they can apply in order to receive the promotions that they desire. So
what does that mean when you say people that are in sports and athletics and they want to go to HR? So I'm a football player. I'm 7 feet tall and I weigh, 300 pounds and I'm just a giant wall of human. And I run into other giant walls of humans for a living for a period of time. But we also know that by the time I hit the age of 30, I'm probably concluding my career. So
career number one.
All my life, I've been running into other heavy human objects. And now I want to go do something. How do you help people do that?
Well, a lot of people start by going to sports administration programs in colleges and universities. However, they don't teach you all of the things you need to know if your goal is to be a leader of one of those organizations. In order to lead a sports administration organization, you really need to be able to do two things. One is to make money for the organization, and the other one is to save money for the organization. So what I help people do is use their experience. In your case, the professional athlete already has experience in sports administration. They've been working with administrators their whole life through college and the pros. But they need to understand the human resources elements in order to advance in their career. Many people want to get in the Super Bowl. But the Super Bowl in the job game is getting to that senior management position, but they don't want to do the preseason work. Nobody wants to practice, but they want to play. So I help make sure that you understand the employment process from the employer perspective so that you know the things that the employers are looking for.
So in our football analogy, which is great, we've got the players on the field, you got the coaches on the sideline, and you have the owners in the owner's box.
Yes.
So how do you take the individual, he or she, that is just, they know how to have leadership on the field, which is still leadership. How do you help them transition from that field leadership, if you will, to the coach of other leaders, to then the owner that is the leader of leaders? How do you help them do that? And this is not a new thing, but you had a little bit of a twist over the last couple of years in your business model.
Yes, well, I worked in sports administration for over 2 decades. So I had experience with marketing and promotions and with compliance and with event management. And when I started teaching in sports administration programs, I thought that those were the skill sets that were going to help my students the most. But what I found, because I track my students and I call them to congratulate them on their promotions, that it's the human resources skills that they picked up in the professional development courses that actually led them over the top. So you need to understand how to be able to help your organization generate not just revenue, but profits. And you do that by learning how to sell. Because you must make sure that you're comfortable getting your customers to depart with their disposable income on a regular basis to attend your events. And you're competing with so many other events out there for people's disposable income. But you also need to understand ways to avoid costly litigation. So you need to understand negligence. You need to understand Title IX and compliance and how violations in those areas can cost your employer money. So I try to fill in the gaps of what people don't learn in their sports administration programs. So it's like a virtual internship where you get to work with me, depending on how you learn. So some people learn by writing and reading, so then we have ebooks. Some people learn by hearing, so we have audiobooks. Some people learn best in an individual setting, so those are mini courses that are digital. Some need to be with others in a group and they want to help expand their network, so they're group coaching programs for that. So I offer different types of learning styles for the different ways that people learn, so that they can fill in those gaps and help decrease their learning curve.
So if people want to find out more about that, because there's so many things we can talk about there, right? Everywhere we go, there's camera, right? And all of a sudden, you're on the side of the spot, the sideline, you're in leadership, and now all of a sudden you're part of the athletic directorship, and then all of a sudden there's a scandal, and all of a sudden then you don't have a job.
Exactly.
And you can't get a job anywhere, because it's just, if it happens in life and it's not on Facebook, it didn't really happen, right? If people want to find out more about your firm or you, or how they can connect, what's the best way to do?
I have a Facebook group, and it's called Next Level Sports Administrators. I also have a podcast, which is called View from the Big Chair, Examining the Cost to Be the Boss, where I interview industry leaders and professionals who share their journey, and they tell you the skill sets that they're looking for when they hire for senior level administrative positions.
I love that. The cost of being the boss in the big chair.
Yes, and the big chair. And Instagram, Career Skills Architect. That's
fabulous. I really appreciate you coming. It's really interesting to see all these businesses that have kind of flourished through the last couple of years, where we certainly have had a new economic environment, and how you're able to provide those skill sets for people that may just have all the stuff they need, all the stuff, they just need the final pieces of polish on it.
Yes.
I appreciate that. Thank you for coming today.
And thank you so much for having me.
Yes,
I really appreciate it.
Guys, thanks for joining us on the Jacksonville Buzz. If you like us, share us, and remember, live with gratitude.
Born out of the bold city of the South, Southern Grill has been a mainstay on Jacksonville South Bank for 24 years. From sun up to sundown, Southern Grill serves up home-cooked meals daily. From breakfast to Southern cooked barbecue, sandwiches, wraps, platters, and vegetarian options, the Southern Grill has you covered. At night, enjoy some of the live music at our full bar, or catch this week's best college or NFL game with our NFL Sunday ticket. Dine in, to go, delivery, or catering. Enjoy a taste of the South at the Southern Grill.
Welcome back to another episode of On a Mission. I'm your host, Dr. Wendy Norfleet with Norfleet Integrated Solutions, and it is my pleasure to have with me Dennis Stone with the Jacksonville Urban League. Welcome, Dennis.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So, Dennis, we know that the Jacksonville Urban League does a lot of good things. So before we start talking about an upcoming event, why don't you tell us a little bit about the organization?
So, yes, the Jacksonville Urban League started actually in 1947. Its 75th anniversary is this year.
Oh, wow.
And it's a great event. And also, the National Urban League, with which we're associated, started 100 years ago. And really, it was both organizations started really to deal with disparities in the Black community, Jim Crow barriers to everything from starting a business to going to school, etc. And so they took it upon themselves to become the organization of interest and support for the Black community. So and from the beginning, they focused on helping people start businesses, financial literacy, education, health and wellness, and the like. And so we do a lot of that.
So it sounds like you're really trying to not necessarily even a score, but provide the same opportunities.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We also, about 4 years ago, established a Center for Advocacy and Social Justice. and they asked me to I'm the general counsel for the Urban League. I was on the board, and they asked me to start the center, and which I've done. And that focuses on supporting via advocacy the mission of the Urban League that I just mentioned. And so we have interns from all over the country as well as Jacksonville helping us in these various endeavors. And again, helping businesses, helping people on social media, helping with public health issues and policy issues. So it's a really exciting activity for young people to get involved from some of the best institutions in America, and it's been quite successful. One of the programs we launched, actually two. One was focusing on community engagement, focusing on the Neighborhood Bill of Rights in Jacksonville, a city ordinance, and asking the city to do more engagement with the community. And we've come up with various workshops to help make that happen.
That sounds
The second
great.
thing we launched was the Racial Healing and Reconciliation, a monthly conversation, just to bring people together of all races, creeds, and just to talk about how we can better get along and how we can better understand one another.
I think that's what it boils down to. A lot of times we're different because of our background, our experiences, but when we start those conversations, we see that we're also very similar.
Exactly.
And we start understanding each other from like the basis you're coming from.
Right. And that kind of leans into another area that we are very active in, and that is developing partnerships with other organizations that are really trying to do the same thing, but in their specialty area. So, for instance, we work with the Population Health Consortium of Northeast Florida. We've helped them get their 501c3 started. We're working with Holistic Health Smart for Seniors out of the University of Florida's Jacksonville campus that focuses on health and wellness for seniors. And so by doing that, I think we're demonstrating that kind of sharing and getting to know one another works to help people change their thinking, change their way of living. And we have an event coming up that we'll be discussing that.
Okay. And so the event that we're going to talk about is the Racial Healing and
Right.
Reconciliation.
Yes.
And that's those conversations, but this one is a little bit bigger than the monthly conversation.
Yes, this is a second annual conference on racial healing and reconciliation. And it's bringing in experts from all over the country to talk about these issues. We launched it last year virtually because of COVID. We decided to do it virtually again this year simply because it's a little hard to tell what's going to happen
Right.
with COVID, So we decided to do that. Our hope is that next year we'll be able to do it in person. But nevertheless, it is virtually. It's running 9 to 4 on October 27th. And it covers, as I said, experts from all over the country and all bases. For instance, we have faith-based communities represented, psychology, physicians, businesses, etc., having conversations about how we can better understand one another so that we establish a beloved community. And that's actually the theme for this year.
Wow, that's great. I just can't applaud you enough for all that you're doing, and by hosting this event, it's great. I've just seen so many times where when these type of conversations get started, great things can happen.
Absolutely.
And so it's just wonderful. So again, it's October 27th, 9 to 4.
Yes.
Okay. And it's virtual.
And it's virtual.
Okay. So if someone wants to learn more about the Jacksonville Urban League and or this event, how do they do that?
It's easy. Just go to rhrconference.com.
Okay.
And
rhrconference.com.
and
Okay.
click on that, and it will take you to the information page and also the registration page.
Okay. Dennis, thank you so much for sharing this, and I hope you have an awesome event.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for having us here, and you have a blessed day.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining us today for On a Mission. To learn more about Urban League's event, Racial Healing and Reconciliation, please go to rhrconference.com. And we'll see you next time on Buzz TV.
Born out of the bold city of the South, Southern Grill has been a mainstay on Jacksonville South Bank for 24 years. From sun up to sundown, Southern Grill serves up home-cooked meals daily. From breakfast to Southern cooked barbecue, sandwiches, wraps, platters, and vegetarian options, the Southern Grill has you covered. At night, enjoy some of the live music at our full bar or catch this week's best college or NFL game with our NFL Sunday ticket. Dine in, to go, delivery, or catering. Enjoy a taste of the South at the Southern Grill.
Feel a new level of comfort with underwear for men. Created for men with an active lifestyle and designed for sports, work, medical, and everyday wear. Underwear for Men has a special patented drawstring pouch which allows you to adjust the perfect custom fit around your manhood. It allows you the separation you need and the support you deserve. The drawstrings adjust to isolate and support. The mesh pouch cools and comforts. The tailored fit won't rubber chafe. A tagless plush waistband sized to fit a man's waist, and materials that are quick dry and moisture wicking. Underwear for Men is available in all your favorite styles and colors, in briefs, trunks, and 6-inch and 9-inch boxer briefs, and in your choice of cottony, extra cool, viscose, or polyester fabrics. Underwear for Men. Support your manhood.
Greetings and welcome to the Jacksonville Buzz. I am your host, Adrienne Houghton. Joining me in the studio today is Dan Reading, and he is from Tempo Change, a year-old business, and we're going to find out all about it. Welcome.
Thank you, Adrienne. It's great to be here.
So tell me, what is Tempo Change?
So on the surface, Tempo Change is just another online t-shirt shop that no one asked for. Right?
Okay.
But the reality is we're building a brand, and our brand apparel includes t-shirts, but that's a small part of what we do. That's just this much of what we do. And you mentioned a year old. We actually have our first birthday. We turn 1 in about a month and a half, so we're not quite there, but we're really excited. We learned so much in year 1, as most small businesses and any business does in the first year, right? But year 2, we have a great plan ahead of us. But to take a step back, what is Tempo Change, right? So we have infused social responsibility and expression and conversation is a big part of it, and fun into our brand. And we have tried to bring together folks from all different walks of life, all different types of people, and have them embrace this and as a safe place. So we started off with what we call our signature line, which are basically just simple shirts that have one word, and it's all about mental health. It's all about positivity. It's all about coming together. And since then, we've added more of the fun, to it, because we don't want to beat people over the head with this mission, so to speak. But we haven't lost sight of the mission, and everything that we do does include that positivity, even if it's a movie mashup or a musical mashup, these types of things. And just the name itself, Tempo Change. I'm a musician. I'm a very creative person, and I wanted to try to find something that I could channel that into, but with positivity infused. And this has been a passion project, if you will, that has evolved into a great small business, and we're super excited.
So, I mean, you answered part of this next question, but what was it that inspired you to start this company?
Yeah, so a few years back, when the pandemic was at its
height.
Right. I was going to say worse, but like everybody's going through different things. So to me, it seemed like it was at the worst at the time. My perception. I was trying to figure out what I could do, because like the divide with politics and everything was just getting broader and broader. The delta was just increasing. Mm-hmm. And so I started writing some editorials for some Florida publications, and kind of expressing some of these things about race relations and how we can do better as a society. And at some point, I said, what else can I do? Like this is only going to reach so many people, and it's only going to inspire so much quote unquote change. And with the creative juices that you mentioned that I already alluded to, I said, I can't write a bunch of sappy songs right, that are going to have people be, oh, guys, this is great. So let's create a brand, and it was literally born out of that, and we've evolved, as I have said, and our first year mantra was, "What's your tempo?"
Yeah.
Right, and tempo change, that name, clearly has the music aspect to it, but the change aspect to it is that social responsibility piece and that,
Right.
That whole thing. So what's your tempo is an acknowledgement of, we might not like the same stuff, right? But that doesn't mean that we can't live our best life, and we can't get along, and we can't talk about it and learn from each other. So year 2, spoiler alert, year 2, we're going to kind of evolve and find your tempo. There's so much pressure on young adults and young people, I think, coming out of high school, coming out of college, and even, folks like myself that are kind of in that, midlife area, if you change careers, like there's so much pressure to know exactly what to do and who you're going to be and all these types of things. So we're going to try to normalize that a little bit and make it a little bit less stressful, and talk about finding your tempo and how it doesn't matter if you find it when you're 21 or 51.
Right, exactly,
okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
So if people are watching this and they say, this sounds super interesting, how do they find tempo change?
Okay, thank you for asking that. It's on the website, is www.tempochange.shop. That's the caveat there. It's a .shop account, not a .com account. And we're on Instagram at tempochange1. In the next year, we're going to expand to TikTok, but I've been too busy to do that this year.
It's hard work.
One social media outlet at a time.
I know. Dan, thank you so much for coming in to tell us about tempo change. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
And if you'd like to know any more information about tempo change, you can also find it on iwannabuzz.com. Thank you for watching.
Born out of the bold city of the South, Southern Grill has been a mainstay on Jacksonville South Bank for 24 years. From sun up to sundown, Southern Grill serves up home-cooked meals daily. From breakfast to Southern cooked barbecue, sandwiches, wraps, platters, and vegetarian options, the Southern Grill has you covered. At night, enjoy some of the live music at our full bar, or catch this week's best college or NFL game with our NFL Sunday ticket. Dine in, to go, delivery, or catering. Enjoy a taste of the South at the Southern Grill.
Feel a new level of comfort with underwear for men. Created for men with an active lifestyle and designed for sports, work, medical, and everyday wear. Underwear for Men has a special patented drawstring pouch which allows you to adjust the perfect custom fit around your manhood. It allows you the separation you need and the support you deserve. The drawstrings adjust to isolate and support. The mesh pouch cools and comforts. The tailored fit won't rubber chafe. A tagless plush waistband sized to fit a man's waist, and materials that are quick dry and moisture wicking. Underwear for Men is available in all your favorite styles and colors. In briefs, trunks, and 6-inch and 9-inch boxer briefs, and in your choice of cottony, extra cool, viscose, or polyester fabrics. Underwear for Men. Support your manhood.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Jacksonville Buzz. I am your host, Adrienne Houghton. Joining me today is Shannon Vivar from FloridaSolsticeFestivals.com. And what is that? We're going to find out because she has organized the Winter Solstice Festival. Welcome, Shannon.
Thank you, Adrienne, for having me. It's wonderful to be back on the Buzz.
Oh, thank you. Well, I want to know more about the Winter Solstice Festival. Tell me about it.
So, December 16th through the 18th in St. Johns County Fairgrounds, which is in Elkton, Florida, not too far from Jacksonville. It's about a 45-minute trip down south. The fairgrounds are beautiful, very wooded, lots of mossy trees. And we are going to be hosting our very first Northeast Florida Winter Solstice Festival. And it's a wellness festival with music and education, yoga, open air gyms. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening.
What prompted you to do this festival?
During the pandemic, as a matter of fact, right before the pandemic, I was getting ready to launch a business called Well Stylist Lab. And it's a community-based organization that focuses on trend awareness and education around holistic wellness, active aging, working futures, and regenerative living. And it had a wellness tourism component to it. Unfortunately, with COVID, every tourism shut down, so it wasn't the right time to launch that business. But I think what it did was it made everybody kind of go internally to think about wellness in their lives and what they're doing in their life. So we launched Mixed Theory Studios. We partnered with Jack's Natural Healing, which is in San Marco, Vive Yoga Studio, and now Well Stylist Lab. As a consortium, we're bringing this festival together.
So tell me more about this festival. Is it just like all those festivals that the kids go to and they're wearing festive fairy braids and, they're listening to cool music?
That there's a little bit of that.
Okay.
So we have it is a camping festival. So for 18 and over, there's camping on site for the weekend. However, it is open to the public, and kids 12 and under are free. So it is a family event. We will have kids activities planned. We have yoga, meditation, sound bath. So really it's the place where you can kind of explore 39 acres worth of interesting things that you may never have done and get out in nature.
So actually bring your yoga mat is the answer to that one.
Yeah, bring your yoga mat for sure.
Are you still looking for people to partner with you for this festival?
Absolutely. We are looking for any of the vendors that want to come and bring their artisan gifts. I mean, it's the weekend before Christmas. So if you think about if people are looking for that last minute gift, it's something unique and special, they can really support local businesses by coming out and shopping through the marketplace. We're looking for food vendors to come in. And we're really actually partnering with even some nonprofits to bring their booth together and educate the community on their mission. So if you're interested, come talk to us.
Okay, and how do they do that? How do they find you?
So we have two websites, the FloridaSolsticeFestivals.com. That's where you can purchase your tickets. And then WellStylistLab.com/community-partners, community-partners is where you would get more information if you wanted to partner with us. But you can also reach out to us at Mixed Theory Studios or Jack's Natural Healing.
Fantastic. Shannon, thank you for coming in and talking about the festival. It's exciting.
Yes, thank you, Adrienne. I assure you, you're going to be there, correct?
I will, absolutely. I definitely need to find out more about self-awareness and being more holistic, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And don't forget, if you'd like to know any more information about Shannon and the Florida Solstice Festivals, you can go to FloridaSolsticeFestivals.com or WellStylistLab.com or iwantabuzz.com. Thank you for watching. What a great show. There were some very interesting segments there, and I hope you enjoyed it. Watch this space next week, and we'll be back.